Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells. Today is October 11th. Week 6 is here, and not a lot of great matchups, but another week of football is always exciting football. We have another London game. We got a couple rookie quarterbacks making their first starts. The two worst vibes teams in the leagues facing off. Jaden Daniels versus Lamar Jackson. Sexy Dexy versus that Bengals offensive line. And we have some new coaches to talk about. It'll be a good episode. And like always, I'm here to preview this upcoming week. And also, give some injury updates. Do the NFL Weekly Update. Talk a little bit of betting. I've been liking the player props recently, but we got a very good show, as always. It's always a good show. But yeah, we can get into it here with that little bit of the injury roundup here. Michael Pittman is out multiple weeks with a back injury. That's unfortunate. Not on IR yet, so I guess that's the good news. Kayvon Thibodeau is week to week after hand surgery. Again, not on IR, not the worst thing, but he will be out. Nico Collins lands on IR for his hamstring injury. That's tough for the Texans. Christian Wilkins goes on IR with a Jones fracture. Sucks to see the former Dolphin get hurt. That Raiders defense that already isn't very good is not looking very good. Dax Hill tears his ACL. That is very unfortunate for the Bengals, whose bad defense might have just got a little worse. Rashee Rice, who everyone thought he was okay, escaped injury with, the Chiefs' devil magic. Apparently he tore his LCL. He is out for the season. We won't probably see him until it's going to be late, because he's going to get that suspension. We're not going to see him until probably November next year. Panthers center Austin Corbett tore his bicep. He's out for the year now. Javon Holland, broken hand. He's probably week to week. We'll see. He can play with a cast, though. Derek Carr tears his oblique. He's out for a few weeks. Uchenna Nwosu, after just coming back off IR, he goes back on IR now with a thigh injury. That's unfortunate. Cowboys rookie Marshawn Kneeland, out with a knee injury. That pass rusher group that's already super banged up has literally no one now. At least they had the rookie, but now no Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence, and now no Marshawn Kneeland. That's tough. I think Dante Fowler is still there. No, Dante Fowler might be in Washington. He might have followed Dan Quinn. Never mind. Let's just keep going. And then finally, Will Hernandez, season-ending knee surgery. I think that's now two starters on that Cardinals offensive line that are both out for the season, the other one being Jonah Williams. But that's kind of the injury recap from this past week. Obviously, a lot of other guys are banged up, still injured, probably guys who I've talked about before, but those are the new guys anyways. And yeah, kind of get into the rest of the NFL news that's been happening. Jabril Peppers gets placed on the commissioner's exempt list, meaning he cannot play any football until he is off that list. Why was he placed there? He has a domestic violence allegation against him. It really just seems like a he said, she said kind of thing right now, which is always unfortunate. But regardless of that, it brings me to my main point about this is the NFL's whole thing, especially with the Rashee Rice incident, has been, we're going to wait for the legal and the justice system to play out, and then we'll hand out our punishment. That's literally the exact opposite of what they're doing. They're just being like, nope, you can't play, and maybe the NFL's taking domestic violence stuff a little bit more seriously. If that would have been the case, maybe Von Miller would have been put on the exempt list last year, but it's weird because it seems like the Rice stuff is very cut and dry. We know exactly what he did. We know exactly what he did was wrong, and he broke several laws, where right now it is a he said, she said in this case, which is very unfortunate. But I don't know. The Rice thing is cut and dry. Like the fact that the NFL's like, we can't do anything till the legal system plays out, and then they immediately do this. Classic NFL. Like, really. Maybe the Chiefs do get away with a little more stuff. I don't know. I gotta... Bless me. I am so sorry. We will keep going, though. Kyler Murray has a Call of Duty sponsorship. Yes, you heard that right. Kyler came out and said, to the trolls who memed me, thank you, because he got a bag. Good for Kyler for playing into it. Obviously, that's like the right thing to do. If you don't know the Kyler, it's usually when Call of Duty drops, Kyler's stats kind of just take a dip in the tank. He is a gamer. Which, yeah, it's a funny correlation, but it's good that he's playing into it and not just kind of being a little bit bitter about it. Like some players would be, but yeah, Kyler Murray has a Call of Duty sponsorship. If his play does take a dip, those memes will be really funny again. PJ Walker to the Stampeders. If you don't remember who PJ Walker is, XFL quarterback, led the league in passing, shut down by COVID, then gets signed by the Panthers. Started a few games for the Panthers here and there. NFL backup guy, but he is signing with the Calgary Stampeders. As someone who works for the CFL, I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited that the CFL it seems like in the most recent years anyways, they're getting good NFL caliber players anyways to come play in their league, where I felt there was a little dip, and this might have been a COVID reason too, where going to Canada and we had all of our we had more limits and more restrictions than the States. I think it's as simple as that, but probably not a lot of American players want to go up to the Canada during that, but now things are good. Canada's still great. It was always great, but that was a weird little side tangent I just went on, and I don't know why. But either way, PJ Walker is in Calgary. I hope to go watch him play next year. He's a very fun player, and he should be the starter for the Stampeders next year. I have no idea who their starting quarterback is, but I can tell you PJ Walker is better. PJ Walker has played NFL football and has played decent NFL football. Maybe I should have added PJ Walker as one of the guys who would be better than Watson. I take that back. PJ Walker was on the Browns last year, and he was absolutely terrible. Either way, welcome to Canada, PJ. And finally, Devin White has been cut from the Eagles. To all the people who was like, oh, Howie did it again. He signed another one. That seems to be a trend for Howie Roseman, where he just gets the flashy big name players, and then it's, what happened, Howie? Where did they go? Yeah, I don't know if this is it for Devin White. Like, his start of his career, it was, LSU national champion, high draft pick, Super Bowl champion. I think he made an All-Pro team in 2021. He was like, oh, he's one of the better linebackers in football, and all of a sudden he just fell off, can't even play on the Eagles right now, who, talk about that in a bit. But, yeah, Devin White, a bit of a weird start to his career. We'll see where he lands. I wouldn't mind him getting in Miami for super cheap. He'll go somewhere. He'll go somewhere for the vet minimum to try to sort it out. The dude obviously still has, I don't know. We haven't seen him play in a decent amount of time, but he had very good raw athletic ability. I don't know if he just wants to be a special teamer, but hey, come to the CFL. The Red Blacks would love you. Yeah, that's it for the NFL Weekly Update. Let's get into the blind Thursday Night Football recap, which I don't think I mentioned off the top of the show, but of course, it's a Friday episode. We got to do the blind recap here. But here we go. NFC West divisional clash. 49ers and Seahawks to get that division lead. And the Niners proved to everyone why they were the best 2-3 team in the league. They win this one. And these games are usually close, and this was a close game, but usually it's low scoring, but thankfully Al Michaels gets his second good high offense game in a row. Multiple lead changes in the fourth quarter, but new Niners kicker Matthew Wright hits the game winner. No, this was a fun one. Lots of offense to go around. Kenneth Walker touchdown. DK Metcalf had a long TD. Kittle touchdown, Jordan Mason touchdown. You can see why both of these offenses have looked good. The Seahawks get back on track, but it wasn't enough against the Niners team, who finally look like they're the Niners, look like they're one of the better teams in the NFC. Final score 30-27. Maybe I finally get this one right, but that is the blind Thursday night football recap. Okay, let's go on to the Week 6 preview here. Teams on bye for this week: the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Rams, and the Vikings. Just, some of the better teams in the NFL on bye this week. It sucks that they're off. That's a joke, obviously. The Dolphins stink. But we will start off with this London game. My number 25th ranked Jaguars going against the number 15 ranked Bears. Bears minus 1.5. Total set of 44.5. The Jags are at home in this one, despite it being at London. Obviously, Shad Khan has been hinting maybe moving them to London, and they, funny enough, get back-to-back games in London. They play the Pats next week, and we'll talk about that next Friday, but I don't know what that line is going to be set at. I want to hammer the Jags. Just hammer them, because, again, I'll talk about that more next Friday. But, yeah, this is technically the battle of the generational quarterbacks. I put that in air quotes. Obviously, if you watch on video, you can see them. But I don't know. I just have, in the end of the day, I have no faith in the Jags to win back-to-back games at this point. But as I say that, it's like, no faith in Doug Peterson and Press Taylor. Why should I have faith in Shane Waldron to have another good offensive game plan cooked up? I don't know. It ends up being a tough call. There's a reason why the line is that small. The under in this one probably seems likely. The Bears' defense is good. I think that they will be able to shut down the Jags' offense. Not fairly easily, but pretty easily. And while the Jags' defense has been beaten up quite a bit, no, I take it the Bears are going to win this one. I don't have hope that. Yeah, I just don't believe in the Jags. To have two productive weeks in a row, that just seems like something that they're not capable of doing at this point. So I'll leave it at that. I'm on the Bears in this one. I'll probably take them 1.5. I definitely like the under though, because I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored in this one, and just because it's a London game too. London unders tend to hit. We will move on though. My number 11th ranked Bucks versus the number 16th ranked Saints. NFC South Division battle. Bucks minus 3.5. Total set of 41.5. This is one of the rookie QBs I was talking about. Spencer Rattler makes his debut. And technically, I think one of my hot takes is actually the nasty man needs to get benched, but I think we're almost there. But yeah, Spencer Rattler makes his debut. Derek Carr goes down injured. I'm excited to see what Spencer Rattler can do. I won't lie. I was high on him in the draft process. I think he just has that energy about him that will elevate this team just a little bit more. I don't know. I'm excited. Now, do I think that the Saints are going to win this one? Maybe if their defense plays lights out and Spencer Rattler has a pretty good performance, but it is going to be tough. They are playing the Bucks, whose secondary is not great. Is Antoine Winfield playing yet? I feel like every week I've been checking, is Antoine Winfield playing? And this is also primarily for fantasy purposes, because I play in a IDP league, in individual defensive player league. We got a defensive lineman, a linebacker, and a DB, and I've been waiting to pick up Antoine Winfield for weeks now. He's questionable. Has he been practicing? He returns to practice. I will probably pick him up after this episode if I remember. But, yeah. This is, again, it's an NFC South Division matchup. I don't know what to expect from these two teams. Historically, probably not a lot of good, but the real matchup to look out for in this one is Mike Evans versus Marshawn Lattimore. These two men don't like each other. Usually get some unsportsmanlike penalties in there. Maybe some physical altercations, but that's always the fun matchup to watch out for in this one. If you do plan on watching this one, I don't know why you would with all the other games out there, but shout out to Spencer Rattler. Excited to see what he can do. Keep moving on here. The number 21 ranked Cardinals versus the number 5 ranked Packers. Packers minus 4.5. Total set at 47.5. Yeah, the Packers have been playing pretty decent football so far this year. Obviously 3-2 on the season. Romeo Doubs is back after his game suspension. We'll see how he gets into the mix here. Christian Watson is back at practice already. That's good because people thought he was going to be out for a couple weeks. I don't know, like the Packers have been good. The defense has been a little iffy, other than Xavier McKinney, of course. But yeah, Jordan Love, he's been playing good football. And right now, good football is prime Brett Favre, where he'll throw for 1,000,000 touchdowns, 1,000,000 yards, but also have a bajillion turnovers. Can also compare it to like Jameis Winston in his 30 for 30 season. Regardless, it's fun football on offense to watch for the Packers. Those turnovers need to come down, but we'll see. This is a good matchup for the Packers. They should win this one. Cardinals on the other side. The run game's been good. The offense has looked good. Kyler's looked good. And potentially a big boost for this defense is first-round pick Darius Robinson out of Mizzou. He started practicing again this week. I think he was limited yesterday. As I'm recording, practices haven't really wrapped up for those West Coast teams. But, yeah, if he is back this weekend, I'm very interested to see how he plays. He was one of my favorite people in this draft process. He could move from all over the cross the line. He could play both edges, on the interior, line him up wherever he is a chess piece. And this is a Cardinals defense that has really lacked a pass rush at this point. So maybe Darius Robinson can help unlock something a little bit. I don't even know if he's going to play, but shout out to Darius Robinson. Keep going here. My number 18th ranked Colts versus the number 28th ranked Titans. Titans minus 2.5. Total set of 42.5. And you might be thinking, it's like, oh, Jason, you must love the Colts this week if they're your 18th ranked team going against a team like the Titans, who I don't like whatsoever. You would be right, but let me just read you off some stats here. Joe Mixon, 159 rush yards. That's his most since 2021. Week 2, Josh Jacobs, 151 rush yards, most since 2022. Week 3, Caleb Williams, career high in passing yards with 363. Justin Fields, Week 4, 367 passing yards, career high. Trevor Lawrence, 371 passing yards, career high. And now that I look at that Week 4, that's probably total yards, which either way. Now they play the Titans, who Will Levis is coming off kind of getting a little bit benched. But who's going to have the high scoring game for the Titans in this one? And the Titans should be able to score points. I think they have enough players everywhere to score points on this Colts defense that has just absolutely looked atrocious. But again, the Colts on the other side, and I think the reason why, because I would like to think that if Joe Flacco was starting, the Colts would be favored in this one because he plays smarter football. You know what you're going to get with Joe Flacco, but I think because Anthony Richardson does play in the start, that's why the Titans are plus 2.5. Which is fair because Anthony Richardson so far this season has been very boom or bust. We don't know what we're going to get from him, and when he went down with that injury against the Steelers, that looked like one of his boom weeks. Then he gets hurt, and Flacco's looked great since. But you got to put Richardson back in there. He is supposed to be your future. But again, if he has one of these boom weeks, boom Costco guys, he's hard to stop. He's almost impossible to stop when he's on. It'll be a good one. I don't think I have any real strong leans in this one. I'm going to take one of the Titans skill players to have probably a crazy week. Because Will Levis, I think I compared Daniel Jones to a Walmart version of Josh Allen. Will Levis is also like, maybe he's like the no-name version of Josh Allen. That's kind of that's a Canadian food product thing, if you get it. But, yeah, he has enough of like a live arm where Ridley or Hopkins could have like a pretty good passing yards game against this bad Colts defense. We'll see though. We will keep going though. The number 32nd, the number 32 ranked Browns versus the number 13 Eagles. Eagles minus 9.5. Total set at 42.5. Yeah, this was the matchup that I alluded to in the intro. These are the two worst vibes teams in the league right now, for various different reasons. For one side, you got the Eagles, who the players seem to be running the show. Nick Sirianni not having a clue of what's going on. Vic Fangio is just, I mean, the NFL has passed him by. He is not that great of a defensive play caller anymore. The offense has just been so banged up. You have Darius Slay mocking his teammates on a division rival Micah Parsons podcast. And then the Browns on the other side. You're stuck with your disgusting quarterback who's getting paid way too much money. And that's just kind of that. You're stuck. There's nothing you can do. You can't even make a quarterback change if you wanted to, because the owner is like, we're going to make this work. And it's not going to work at this point. It's just simply not. But yeah, just incredible bad vibes all around. Like, would it shock me if Watson and Cooper and Njoku suddenly have the best game of their Browns tenure together versus this Eagles team that has no clue, that's just so dysfunctional? Like, sure, I guess. And I guess the other thing the Browns do have going for them is huge underdogs this season. And when I say huge, I think 7-point dogs. They're 8-1 against the spread this year, 7-2 straight up. So, hey, maybe I should be picking the Browns. I'm just going to avoid this game altogether because this has dysfunction written all over it. However, the one reason I might tune in is because cornerback Cooper DeJean is taking over for Avonte Maddox at nickel. He's going to make his first start. Very excited for that because, a year ago today, the internet sparked the debate of the all-white versus all-black football team, and obviously the all-white team, no secondary whatsoever. Like, we have Harrison Smith, we got a couple like white safeties, Reed Blankenship, like, that's not bad, but the corners, dreadful. And now look at us. Starting cornerback Riley Moss, starting cornerback Cooper DeJean, hey, and even backup cornerback Ethan Bonner on the Dolphins. Like, that's three somewhat capable starters anyways. Now, what a time to be alive. We get to see white corners play in the NFL, something that I thought I would never be able to see. So shout out to those three dudes, I guess. I'll move on from this matchup, though. Yeah, next game here. The number 6 Texans versus the number 29th ranked Patriots. Texans minus 6.5. Total set of 37.5. Drake May makes his debut, something that NFL fans should be excited for, and I am excited to see Drake May. I do like Drake May. Unfortunately, it is for the Patriots. But unfortunate for Drake May, he's going against the Texans and their top pass rush in the league with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter on those edges. It's hard to give the Patriots a chance in this one. I think what I will be doing is betting the overs on like Jalen Polk or Pop Douglas yards or receptions, something like that, but they're going to get smoked. Like, I think that this will be a welcome to the NFL moment for Drake May. I don't give the Patriots a chance in this one. It won't be pretty, I think, but this is new territory for the Patriots right now, where I guess it's not that new because you looked at Mac Jones. A lot of people looked at Mac Jones and was like, that was the guy. We're excited about that. And ish. But all you want to see from Drake May at this point is just positive plays, explosive plays that make you look like, okay, positive, we can think on the future. The Texans should roll, though. I don't know why the Texans would lose in this one. Also, probably going to bet some Tank Dell props with Nico Collins out. I expect Gonzo to shadow Stephon Diggs for most of the game. Probably going to bet some Diggs unders, if that, actually, now that I'm thinking about that too. But we'll keep going here. The number 10 ranked Commanders versus the number 4 ranked Ravens. Ravens minus 6.5. Total set at 51.5. The fact that the Commanders in my top 10 are just crazy. But this matchup between these two quarterbacks is incredibly fun. Very similar play styles. It's weird to say Lamar is part of this like old generation of quarterbacks right now in the league, but like technically he is. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, even though like the age gap between the two is I think 2 years. I think that I looked, maybe it's 3 years, but Jaden Daniels is turning 24 or 25 at the end of this year. Lamar's 27. I digress. Either way, what a fun matchup that we get to see between these two teams. And a true test for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. And I know I said this last week too, and I know I keep saying I gotta stop doubting the Commanders, but I'm not completely sold. Am I sold on Jaden Daniels? Of course. Am I sold on the Commanders as a whole right now? Absolutely not. And I thought that last week could be the welcome to the NFL moment for him. And no, he had a really good game against the Browns. Now, are the Browns extremely dysfunctional? Yeah, of course. Now they play a Ravens team that has a good offense, can run the football very, very well, and their defense is incredibly solid. I'm very interested to see how he looks. If they have another big game in this one, then, I already know Jaden Daniels is good, so I'm not even going to go there, but this should be a tough matchup where the passing yards, the numbers are low. I don't know. I don't want to doubt Jaden Daniels another week, because I've done it literally every single week so far, but apparently I'm doing it again. So, I do like the Ravens in this one. Derrick Henry, I think I checked his yardage total. It's at like 80 yards, his over-under. He should hit the over on that, but that's way too high of a total for me to bet. And I guess, last thing I have to note, Lamar is 21-1 versus the NFC. The Ravens are going to win this one, but if the Commanders can keep this one close, like if the Commanders can come within the spread of this one, I will be very, very impressed, and I probably need to have a conversation, at least about Dan Quinn. Cliff Kingsbury, you got to the end of October to... Yeah, you got to the end of October, but then after that, doubting you. I'm going to keep doubting the offense. Who am I kidding? Keep moving on, though. The number 22 ranked Chargers versus the number 26th ranked Broncos. Chargers -3, total set of 35.5. There is a reason this is the lowest scoring total of the week. We get a very, very good Broncos offense going against a lackluster Chargers offense. Hopefully the Chargers get Alton Slater back. They were both at practice, but again, the offensive tackles make the offense more consistent, but it's a consistently very okay offense at best right now, and right now the Broncos are one of the best defenses in the league. They gave up 70 points in week 3 last year, and I think through 5 weeks this season, they've only allowed 74 points. Complete turnaround without a big personnel change too. Shout out to Vance Joseph, their defensive coordinator, but this isn't going to be good. And again, Bo Nix in that bad Broncos offense going against a Chargers defense, which I don't really like, but they have enough pieces to stop Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton. Not going to be pretty. There's a reason that the total's at 35.5. This game will not be making it onto my TV, so we can move on. Another bad matchup here, another boring matchup anyways. My number 19th ranked Steelers versus the number 31 ranked Raiders. Steelers -3, total set at 36.5. Aiden O'Connell is making his start this week. I don't really know why. Gardner Minshew's been playing like Gardner Minshew. It's been fine. I wouldn't say that he's the reason that you've been losing. Aiden O'Connell, I just don't think is a good quarterback. I think it's as simple as that. I would totally be playing Gardner still. I get that O'Connell's the young QB and you want to see what you have, but what are we? We're week 6 right now. I'd say easily by week 8, Gardner is back in. But yeah, I guess we'll see. tune in to watch Max Crosby and TJ Watt play football. Other than that, I don't have much else to say. Maybe George Pickens stops being pouty and tries. Because again, as someone who doesn't watch all the film and doesn't watch the All-22, I see the stats of, George Pickens got outsnapped by Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin, and I think that that's ridiculous. And it is ridiculous, but apparently George Pickens wasn't giving a full 100% effort on that Sunday night football game, which, again, myriad of reasons. If he's not playing as much, then he gets on the field and he pouts, it's kind of his fault, but it's just another diva receiver that Mike Tomlin's had to deal with, and he's been dealing with these types of guys for a decade plus at this point, so doesn't really matter. The only other interesting tidbit I have from this game, I did use tidbit. Jalen Ward says he's good to go, like he could play tomorrow, he feels great, but the Steelers still have him listed as doubtful to play, and doesn't look like he is going to play in Week 6, so I don't know what's really going on there, but Najee Harris sucks. You don't have any effective runners right now. Jalen Warren looked like he could be an effective runner, maybe not as a lead role, but get someone to pair him with, sure. I don't know why Jalen Warren isn't playing, especially if he says that he's okay. Something to monitor, I guess, going into Sunday. Keep moving on, though. The number 9 ranked Falcons versus the number 30 ranked Panthers. Falcons -6, total set of 46.5. I'm not really giving the Panthers a chance in this one. The Andy Dalton story was nice. I think that it's over. I think that Kirk and this Falcons offense have turned a corner, and they are playing a mighty bad Panthers defense, and a defense that is extremely banged up, and I had some hopes going into the season. But right now, J.C. Horn is your best defensive player, one could argue, and he's good. He's not great. Maybe it's Clowney. Maybe it's DJ Wanham or something. I don't really know. Panthers defense, little out of whack. They're missing a lot, though, so it's fine. But the Falcons, they should tear them apart. Interested to see, with center Austin Corbett out for the Panthers, if they can continue this really good run game that I think Chuba Hubbard since week 3 is only behind Derrick Henry in rushing yards, which that's a crazy stat in itself. But Panthers need to run the ball. Maybe they can. This isn't a great Falcons defensive line. Obviously, they still got big Grady Jarrett plugging up the middle there. They drafted a lot of young guys. I haven't heard a lot from them, but again, haven't paid a ton of attention to Falcons football. Maybe when I tune in, I'll try to look at those interior defensive line versus offensive line matchups, but no, the Falcons are going to win this one. This could be a big Bijan game, potentially. Who knows? But can keep moving on here. The number 3 ranked Lions versus the number 23 ranked Cowboys. Lions -3, total set of 52.5. Not really a lot to talk about in this game. I think the Lions are going to kill them. The Lions off a bye week playing a Cowboys team that all of their pass rushers are hurt. Their offense is CeeDee Lamb, and that's about it. And CeeDee Lamb's tough to shut down. I think that the Cowboys offense will score 17, maybe 20 points, but this seems like a game where the Lions should put up 30 on them. If the Lions are who I think the Lions are, I think the Lions should put up 30 on them. But the one thing I do have from this week is Dan Campbell said in his presser this week, he was walking through the facility last week when out of nowhere someone punches him against the wall. Then he gets punched again and realized it was Frank Ragnow trying to show him that his pec is hurt, and its way is telling him to look how strong I am. I'm good. I wish I was a Lions fan. I mean, I don't. They've gone through so much pain, but I've also gone through a lot of fucking pain, and I just wish, because their franchise is so fun right now. They have so much good to talk about, and I thought I had that with the Dolphins, and it slipped out of my fingers so fast. Maybe I'll feel that again, but I don't know. The Lions are fun. This should be a ass kicking from the Lions. I will be taking Lions -3, 100%. Yeah, can keep moving on. The number 14th ranked Bengals versus the number 24 ranked Giants. This is Sunday night. This is Sunday night football. Did I miss a game? There's no way the Giants should be on Sunday night football. Like, I get it's the Bengals. Ugh. I get the Giants and it's New York City, blah, blah, blah. The Giants in prime time. Like, what are we doing here? Either way. Bengals -3.5, total set at 47.5. This should be a layup for the Bengals. If the Bengals are who people said they were in the offseason, where this is a Super Bowl team, and look at them go, they should cakewalk the potentially Malik Neighbors-less Giants, because he's still in concussion protocol. Doesn't look like he's really made that next step, which is really unfortunate, but there's a small thing in the back of my mind where the Giants could upset them. Mainly because, one, I believe Brian Daboll is a better coach than Zach Taylor, and two, the Giants have a man named Dexter Lawrence who is the best defensive tackle in football right now, one of the best nose tackles already of all time, who is second in the league in sacks right now with 6. And he's going against this Bengals offensive line that absolutely sucks. And that interior especially absolutely sucks. And maybe Brian Burns, who is a bit of a slow start, maybe he gets it going too. No Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't really think that matters anyways. I'm not going to pick the Giants in this one because I do think that the Bengals and their offense and Jamar and Joe and T. Higgins, like it should be good enough. If what everyone has been telling me all this time, it should be fine. The Bengals should win this one easy, but I don't know. Brian Daboll's going against this Bengals defense. The Giants' offensive line has looked good. The running game has kind of got going, came alive last week with rookie Tyrone Tracy. And even without Neighbors, Sladen and Wandale still getting involved. I don't know. There's a possibility that the Giants do win this one. I'd be definitely shocked, but Dexter Lawrence is a freak. 6 sacks at nose tackle is unheard of, but I don't know. That'll be Bengals fans should be on suicide watch if they win this one and go 1-5 after claiming Super Bowls, basically, that they've never even won. Bengals fans are crazy, but finally, Monday Night Football here. The number 7 ranked Bills going against the number 17 ranked Jets. Bills -2.5, total set at 40.5. We get new interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich, who, when you're looking for interim head coaches, he fits the mold. Ex-player, rah-rah guy, kind of in the mold of a Dan Campbell, but like, we'll see. Either way. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to really say on Jeff Ulbrich, but he immediately, and something that Robert Saleh was leaning towards doing, was stripping Nate Hackett of his play-calling duties and giving them over to Todd Downing, and that is exactly what Ulbrich did. Now you're wondering probably, who the fuck's Todd Downing? I will tell you. He's been coaching in the NFL since 2005, was the quarterbacks coach for the Lions, Bills, Raiders, Titans. Took over as the Raiders offensive coordinator in 2017. They had the 7th ranked offense in 2016, turned it into the 23rd in 17. Not that great. Then he took over as the Titans offensive coordinator in 2021 after they were 4th in offense in 2020. Offense finished 15-21 and 28th in 2022. But to be fair to Todd Downing, they did trade away A.J. Brown, which was obviously a major reason of why that offense was so good. So not a great resume off the bat for Todd Downing, but you give him the benefit of the doubt because he's still way better than Nate Hackett. Because we want to look at Nate Hackett play calling. 2018 Jags fired as OC after 11 games. 2022 Broncos surrenders play calling as head coach after 9 games. 2023 Jets ranks 31st in total offense. 2024 Jets loses play calling responsibilities after 5 games. So while Todd Downing might not be like a super exciting guy to be calling the plays, he's better than Nate Hackett. It's like a C plus replacement compared to Nate Hackett, who's an F. So I guess what they can see against the Bills, but the Bills, this is exactly what you have done for years now. It is the same dysfunctional Jets team who never has it together, and you just lay a whooping on them. Do what you've been doing for the last 4 years, kick the shit out of them. Sounds easier, but I think Josh Allen, after having his rough performance last week, hopefully Khalil Shakir gets back, but the Bills should win this one, and I think the Bills should win this one easy if the Bills are the team that I expect them to be. But I guess we will see, and that kind of does it for this episode. Happy I don't have to talk about Miami, really. Happy we're on the bye week, then happy we play a very bad Colts defense, and then Tua comes back. Hopefully. But yeah, until then, this is a good week of football. I like the matchups. I like that I don't have to be stressed out about watching my own team, and I can pick and choose different matchups to watch across the league. Yeah, that'll do it. Actually, final thing. Shout out to Logan from TikTok, who commented on one of my posts saying, "Love the podcast, man. Seems super interesting. It seems like something I'd like to listen to." I guess Logan's probably my first fan that I don't know about, but actually I checked my analytics on the podcast. I have someone in Germany who consistently listens to consistently downloads anyways every single podcast that I've had. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to that dude in Germany, but nice having people listen to the podcast who aren't my friends and family. I hope you enjoyed the episode, but as always, if you've enjoyed this, please like, share, retweet, subscribe, tell all your friends, and until next time, peace.